Homesteaders, gardeners, and cooks. My name is Jennifer. Welcome to Miles Away Farm, or welcome back to my kitchen. I am going to make a carrot salad today, and these are carrots that I picked in late October. And so I waited until there was a frost, because carrots, once there's a frost, the energy from the leaves gets pulled back down into the root and they become decidedly sweeter, and they're absolutely delicious. And these have been in cold storage in a extra refrigerator that I've had since October. Today is about the middle of April. So we're 16th of April, I believe. And so there's a reason that carrots and cabbage and those kind of things, beets is another one, were traditionally put into root cellars for the winter. They store incredibly well. And these carrots, you can see they're getting a little bit hairy. You know, there's a little bit of roots there starting to form, and you do need to check them every once in a while, because you'll have one that'll go bad and it can cause rot in the other ones if you're not careful. When I picked these, I just rinsed them with a hose and threw them into a container and threw them into a fridge. I did just recently go through all of them, and I did a very, very mild bleach bath. So a sink full of water and maybe a tablespoon of bleach, basically what you would use to sanitize countertops if you were in a restaurant, that level of bleach. And I gave everything a bath in that. And I have them in this air fryer tray just because it was easy and convenient, and I'm letting them kind of air dry a little bit before I throw them back into a bag and throw them in my fridge. I had bought 10 or 15 pounds of carrots from a friend. They were a little more scratch and dent than the ones from my own garden, and so I had been working my way through theirs. And now I'm ready to work my way through the rest of mine before I get ready to plant carrots again in the spring for the rest of the year. So what I'm going to do is make this carrot salad that has a bit of an Asian dressing and a sesame peanut crunch to go on top, which just sounded absolutely delicious. And the link for this will be in the description, along with where I got the recipe from originally. I think this was something off of Instagram, but carrot salad from 6-month-old carrots. Let's get started. Here are our lovely carrots all cleaned up. This is about a pound of shredded carrots, and I used a food processor instead of cutting them into julienne the way originally indicated. No time for that. Ingredients include honey, miso, rice wine vinegar, garlic and ginger. This is a frozen garlic puck of ginger and garlic that I have. Some sesame oil, and sesame comes in both regular and toasted. This is a toasted sesame oil, and it's pretty strong. I think if I were going to do this again, I would probably just substitute some neutral oil for part of that. A little bit of soy sauce. Here's our miso. Miso comes in a bunch of different strengths. That happened to be red miso because that's what I had on hand. Original recipe called for sriracha. I'm just doing my own homemade hot sauce. And then a teaspoon of honey. Getting all of that whisked together. And this original recipe called for a scallion and some cilantro and some basil, and I completely forgot to add them because it's just not the time of year for a lot of that. Onion would have been great in here, but it was fine just with the dressing and the carrots. And so pouring my dressing over the carrots, giving everything a nice good stir. And then, honestly, this is what intrigued me about this recipe. I love the idea of doing a sesame brittle. You know those little sesame candies that you can buy that are basically glued together with some kind of syrup? I love those, and so that was the idea here. So this is a half a cup of sesame seeds, a half a cup of peanuts, and then we're adding in some salt, some more sesame oil, some honey, and then a little bit of ground ginger. Giving that a good stir. And I didn't bother chopping these peanuts. They were supposed to be chopped, but it didn't seem to matter. I think it was fine. And I'm putting this on a greased piece of tin foil on a toaster oven sheet. So just a small little cookie sheet. Spreading that out as evenly as I can. And then we're going to toast this at 275, so a pretty low temperature, for about 25 minutes. And that's going to cause everything to melt and get to a nice brittle texture. When you first pull it out of the toaster oven, it's still going to be a little bit soft if it's still warm.
but it does tighten up and get crispy once it cools off. So here's the sesame, brittle, peeled off the tin foil, and then I'm just going to break it into small pieces with the back of a butter knife. But this was super easy, and I'm seeing lots of possibilities for this with different things. I would probably back off on the sesame oil that was in this. It was a little bit too strong, but really delicious. And then I'm gonna have some of this for dinner with some leftovers that I'm having. And so we've got our marinated carrots and our brittle, and it's just a very nice, light, Asian, crunchy carrot salad from 6-month-old carrots. What's not to love? So give this recipe a try, tribe. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment, and share. I have new content coming out every week.